This is a completely different sport. Kickboxing is kickboxing. MMA is MMA. I've been doing MMA for years. I've been bred in MMA. And whenever I do fight him, standing, I will knock him out. And when I do, I'm going to rub it in every single one of y'all face.
So Jamahal Hill has been coming out doing a lot of interviews, a lot of media recently, talking about how whenever him and Alex Pereira fight, he's not planning on wrestling him. He's planning on standing with Alex and knocking him out cold. And this has stirred a lot of things recently against Jamahal Hill because, Alex is a very, very credentialed kickboxer, Glory 2-division champion, now 2-division UFC champion with knockouts, different things like that. One of the most dangerous strikers of all time, obviously, But whenever I look at this fight, I think that it's very, very interesting between these two because I feel like they both have very different styles in striking, but I think they're very similar as well. You know what I mean? We have Alex who he's a little bit more of a kicker, but he does a lot of the movements that he does is to set up his left hook, the way he leans, the way he angles off and tries to throw the leg kicks to lure you into that left hook, he picks you and then launches, he's very, very dangerous, and then we have Jamahal Hill, more of a boxer type of style, I think he's got very underrated defense, and a lot of the things that he does, he goes off of angles and head movement to try and set up his right hook, I think that's Hill's best punches is his right hook, so they're very different but very similar in a sort of boxing type of way, but I think that Jamahal Hill has a very good chance at TKOing Alex Pereira. I mean, and I know that might upset a lot of people, but Hill is very, very dangerous. And the thing that really intrigues me most about this matchup is the defense for Jamahal Hill, because whenever I look at these two and the past few matchups that they've had, they've both gotten hit, but it seems as if Alex has gotten hit way more than Jamahal has in his past couple fights, I mean, I feel like Hill has very good eyes, he sees a lot of shots coming, Glover hit him with a couple clean shots in his last fight, but I just feel like Jamahal kind of saw a lot of the things Glover was planning against him, and breaking down this fight, I feel like we all know what Alex Pereira's defensive weaknesses are at this point. I feel like Alex can't really see the 1-2 coming as clean, the straight shots. I feel like he doesn't see him as well. He uses a lot of parrying to try and get out of the way of those things. He's taller than a lot of his opponents, so he kind of uses his arms to kind of get your arms caught up in him, you know what I mean? Whenever you try throwing shots against him, then he might try to counter as you throw on your way in with the left hook, but Hill has very good defense, so my point is with this is that Yeri is an incredibly unpredictable striker, but he has defensive flaws that Alex was able to capitalize on, and I just feel like whenever it comes down to this matchup, a lot of people, they talk about the leg kicks from Alex Pereira, right? That's going to be one of the biggest weapons that he'll be able to use against Jamahal Hill, and I really don't think that it's going to be that much of a factor whenever they fight. Of course, it'll be there, but at the end of the day, Jamahal Hill is a southpaw, and from what we've seen against Adesanya, against Bruno Silva, even against Yuri Prohaska, Alex does not really throw the calf kicks as much, and I know we threw lead leg kicks against Adesanya, but even Adesanya admitted after the fact that they didn't really have much of an effect on him. That, of course, is orthodox they did, but I feel like they won't come as much into play as people think, and I just believe that with Jamahal Hill being a southpaw, Alex just has trouble with southpaws in general, So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Alex Pereira versus Bruno Silva fight and check out some of the combinations that Bruno Silva was able to land on Alex Pereira from the southpaw stance. And then we're going to take a look at Jamahal Hill and see maybe what kind of things he could land in the pocket being a southpaw. All right, so here we are at 3 minutes and 48 seconds in the first round. Alex Pereira throws a front kick, and then from the orthodox southpaw stance, Alex Pereira throws an outside calf kick. And to counter this, Bruno Silva throws and lands a beautiful straight left hand, blitzes in, tries to land two more, but misses the other two, as Alex Pereira frames off and kind of moves away from it, And in this sequence, it kind of showed to me that Alex doesn't really have the greatest defense, and I think we all know that, He uses his length, he frames off a lot, parries a lot of shots, and I just feel like this is a really good combination from Silva, to land the left straight, which Adesanya couldn't really do that much whenever he stood in southpaw. But anyway, let's take a look at another sequence in the fight right here. Okay, so we have another moment here starting at 3 minutes and 30 seconds from southpaw Bruno Silva. Bruno throws a beautiful straight left, boom, right into the right hook, right over Alex Pereira's left hook as he tries to counter, and another incredible shot by Bruno Silva. So in this sequence, remember in the last clip that I showed you, Pereira tried to circle out going towards his right hand side, but this time he tried circling out to his left. So Bruno adjusted really well by setting up the left straight and then catching Pereira over the top with his right hook, as Alex Pereira missed his left. So another way that Hill could kind of lure him into his right hook, I could see him setting up that shot pretty well. But let's take a look at one more clip from this fight. And in this one, they're kind of standing in the pocket with each other. You know what I mean? And I think this is very important for a matchup between Hill and Pereira. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so here we have the moment at about, I think, 47 seconds. Let's see. Okay, so Alex Pereira baiting, wings a giant left hook. Silva ducks it, counters with a beautiful straight left hand, misses the right hook, almost partially lands the left hand right behind it. But yeah, another incredible sequence from Bruno Silva, man, showing that if you can get out of the way of the left hook, you can counter it, especially from the southpaw stance. But anyway, let's take a look at some combinations that Hill does pretty well, that could work against Alex. Okay, so let's take a look at Thiago Santos versus Jamahal Hill, starting at 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Another Brazilian explosive striker, of course. Okay, so Jamahal Hill throws a jab. Thiago slips it, tries to counter, and Jamahal Hill catches him with a beautiful counter right hook over the top. Absolutely incredible, man. Like the way he sees these shots, and his countering ability, it shows that his offense isn't just very well, but he can slip and he can counter against explosive guys, against power punchers like Thiago Santos. But just to get to my ending points about this matchup, I believe that it is going to come down to the boxing and the exchanges that these two will have with their hands specifically. You know what I mean? Of course, Pereira is going to be throwing a lot of kicks, and of course, he's going to be trying to set up the left hook as much as he can. Maybe he'll throw the outside leg kicks. I don't think that he will as much, you know what I mean? Maybe if Hill decides to switch to orthodox, then Pearl will immediately start chopping those legs, you know what I mean? But the advantages I see for these two, Hill, I think, does have the boxing advantage in the pocket with his defense as well, you know what I mean? He might even have a little bit more speed than Pereira, but the thing about Pereira is that he is extremely, extremely good at setting up the big shot. We've seen it against Strickland. Jab to the body, boom, left hook, done, and he was able to do that against Silva too, was firing off with straight shots, making him fear the right hand so he could set up the left hook, so it's either Jamahal Hill is going to damage him in the pocket and TKO him, or Alex Pereira is going to pick him apart to eventually condition Hill for the big shot and end it there, but this is an incredible fight, man, a very, very interesting fight. Let me know who you guys think will win this incredible display of mixed martial arts that should happen about next year, 2024. Let me know who you guys think is going to win, of course. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless you. Yeah, subscribe, like. See you later.